very much for staying on with us. A big day on ET Now as we're celebrating 5 years, and in tandem with the theme for the day, we're bringing on board very important corporate and market voices. So joining in now on the show is Nischal Maheshwari, EVP Research, Edelweiss Securities. Nischal, great to have you with us on the show. Now, the market correction is perhaps inevitable, but do you think that we have a good base at levels of about 7,500?
Yes, I think this is a good base basically, and I think the market is waiting for policy announcements and the budget announcements possibly. And outlook on the weather, I think these are 2 or 3 triggers basically the market is waiting for. I think these are good levels to accumulate stocks.
When you say accumulate stocks, let's talk about the public sector banks. They've seen a fairly heady run up. Do you think that, it would be prudent at this level to bet on some quality names from this space?
Yeah, definitely. I think if you are looking at economy recovering basically, then I think some of the larger names looks pretty interesting. So some of the power companies like PFC, REC, some of the PSU banks like State Bank, Bank of Baroda, I think these are some of the names basically one can look at, given that the outlook is positive and the worst is behind as far as the asset quality is concerned.
Apart from that, you do have Infosys, which has been in focus on account of the new leader, Vishal Sikka. How are you viewing this move, and do you think that, now the focus will shift to some of the mid-cap IT names or the likes of a TCS instead?
See, at least that clarity of leadership is very, very important, and I think that has come through as far as Infosys is concerned. Now the focus is going to shift in Infosys to performance and the numbers. So this quarter and the next basically, if Infosys continue to deliver basically, I think stock will get re-rated. Again, if you look at IT as a pack, I think the large caps, all the 4 of them basically, or all 5 of them, even Tech Mahindra for that instance, are pretty cheaply available. If you look at from the peak valuation, they're all down by at least 25% from there. So I think why look at the mid caps at all there? Their larger caps itself basically are available pretty cheap. So I think one can go out and look at it. Our top picks remains to be TCS and Tech Mahindra there.
Nischal, I was looking at the June 9th report by Edelweiss, essentially on the manufacturing export-oriented companies. You guys seem to be fairly bullish out there. The stock aren't exactly as cheap as they were maybe 5 months ago, but the market isn't either. What do you like? Because there's a plethora of stocks out here. What do you like amongst the ones that you've covered in the report?
Obviously, all these stocks are a buy for us, so I like all of them. The space which is very, very interesting at the moment is the industrial space, where you are expecting a recovery is going to happen, and all these stocks basically which you have covered out there, especially in the industrial space, is going to benefit out of that. Then there are specific stocks. I just saw Welspun India MD out there, and I think that's another interesting stock where he's been continuously performing well, and the stock is available pretty cheap. There is Warburg, VA Tech, Warburg basically.
Nischal,
I believe that
Nischal, let me just come in before we talk about some other companies. The reason I'm coming in is because we just had the MD of Welspun India just before we begin your interview. We just interviewed him, and while he didn't put out any growth targets out there, or about the 18-20% assumption that you have, but he was fairly bullish about the future as well. A target of 300 that you have, is it too aggressive on Welspun India?
No, I think there is going to be a re-rating of the stock also. We are expecting it to happen. I believe the stock is trading 2.5 times right now. So it's extremely cheap basically, and if they continues to deliver numbers, then I believe that some re-rating of the stock will happen, and earnings growth obviously is going to be also there. So I see stock going to that target price in a 9 to 12 month range.
Nice.
Stock's buying into what he's saying.
Yeah, stock's buying into what he's saying, what the management also had to say. Sorry, Nischal, for cutting you. We're talking about some of the others like VA Tech, Warburg as well.
So VAT Wabag also, I think that is also on the cleanliness drive which Mr. Modi has been talking about. If we are talking about the Ganga river or other rivers also following the same way which he has done it at Sabarmati, then I believe these are companies basically which are going to benefit out of a lot. These are all multi-year projects which are going to get initiated, and if the government will is there, then I believe these companies, especially in the water management, water treatment, these companies are going to be big beneficiaries of that.
Nischal, it's our birthday today, so leave us with a gift, any top stock idea that you can, advise investors to look at.
I think there are a lot of stocks which I like, but I think two of them I've already discussed with you, Welspun and VA Tech Warburg. The other one I like in the mid-cap space is Federal Bank, and I believe that's another stock basically which has got all the ingredients right, and if the growth comes back along with the economy, I think that stock is also very well poised to take off from here. It's available at around 1.2 times with the ROE, improving ROE from 13 to 15%, and similarly ROA also going up. So I think Federal Bank looks interesting at these prices.
Federal Bank, something that Nischal Maheshwari likes as well, so watch out for that stock. Has been weak over the past few sessions. In today's trade, up about 1.5% odd. Nischal Maheshwari, thanks so much for joining in today. It's a special day. Thanks for joining in and giving us those recommendations as well.
Thank you, and congratulations for your birthday.
Thanks so much. Thanks so much. That's of course the Edelweiss view, and some of those stocks very interesting to look at. Prakash Gaba, taking a moment to thank you as well. It's been great having you all these days, and especially today. Thanks for joining in today as well. Okay, with that, it's a wrap on this leg of Market Sense, but big market voices coming up on markets at lunch today. Adrian Moat of JP Morgan, Ramesh Tamani.